Tony's Tractor Adventure.
Welcome back. I just pulled the tractor into the shop, and I happened to look down, and I knew it was going to be close, but my hour meter reads 50.0 hours. I guess that's about as close as you can get it. But stay tuned here with me. We're going to go through and do our 50-hour service on the tractor, and I hope you enjoy. Before you start your service, I would recommend that you pull out your owner's manual. Now, I would consider myself to be a pretty seasoned mechanic. That doesn't mean I can remember everything. Matter of fact, the older I get, the more I forget. So take your owner's manual out, peruse the service checklist, and just follow the service checklist one at a time, going up and down. And then it'll keep you from forgetting things. All right, I'm getting ready to do my service, and I want to get the tractor prepared to do the service. Now, these are things that I do because I think it makes it easier. And I think if it's easier to do, you'll be more likely to do a good job. So I'm going to take off the hood. I'm going to take off the front shroud. I'm going to take off all 4 tires and put it up on jack stands so that it's easy to get to. And then from there, we will start our actual service. Okay, I got the back of the tractor lifted up, put it on jack stands. The backhoe mount makes a great place to put your jack stands. It's solid and safe. And I've got the front up too, I'll show you that. I got the front axles off the ground. I'm going to go ahead and remove the wheels and get them out of the way so that I can work on the tractor easily. Okay, now the back wheels are off and the front wheels are off. I'll give you a look around. You can see how much easier it is to get to the stuff here onto the tractor, how easy it is to get to the filters, how easy it is just to observe the tractor and to look for any loose bolts or any kind of damage. Here's the front end. You can see here that it's going to be probably much easier to drain. Even though one of the jack stands is kind of in the way of the front axle drain, it's not that big a deal. Most of the oil will drain out the bottom of the hubs. So we can see how easy it is now to get to all the stuff. Just everything will be easier. Obviously I took the mower deck off too. That makes it much easier to service. All right, next thing I want to do is take the hood and the front cover off. All right, just a little bit of food for thought. When you're doing your service, take your hood off. You got these extra bolts laying around. Instead of just putting them in a pile, go ahead and put them back in the holes they belong to, and if you have the option. And then later on, when you're trying to put this thing back together, you're not running around looking for screws and wondering which screw goes into which hole. I don't care how many times you've done it, it gets complicated because some of them are a little longer than the other, and it always ends up you put the wrong bolt in the wrong place, and you got to go back and retrace your steps. So if you go ahead and put the bolts, back in the hole it came out of when you take it out the first time, you're not going through all that problem. I'm going to take off the shroud or the front cover. There's 4 bolts holding this on top. There's 2 here on this side. And you go around the other side, there's 2 in basically the exact same location. And then at the bottom of the tractor, on the front, there will be 2 bolts on one on either side. So a total of 6 bolts. Now keep this in mind, you do not have to take these bolts completely out. There's little slots that you can slide this thing forward. So you only have to loosen them up enough to slide these forwards in these little slots. Okay, now I've got the 6 nuts loose on the front of the shroud. We're going to go ahead and take these nuts here off. So you see it by hand. These are hand tight. This holds the back part of the dust cover on the back off. I'm going to take the one off on the other side, and that should release everything I need to slide this forward. We got this one off over here. Now this thing should just slide forward. Alright. So we can pull this thing forward a little bit. Alright. Popped out of the back. It's got little nipples on the back that slide in and hold in place. So that's out. Now we'll move on to removing the front headlights. Now I'm sure you can do this service without removing this. It'd just be a lot easier to do this. And there's an MWO, or what I call MWO, modification work order that LS sent me to replace a drain plug on the engine. So I'm going to have to do that too. So it will be easier for me to do this. My tractor's one of the first iterations. So what I did, if you've seen it, I just did unhook the headlights, and I'm just laying them over back in there. Be careful not to touch them. And you know what? I'm thinking seriously about ordering me some new LEDs. These are plenty bright. I have no problem with them, but I just love the white color of the LEDs. I think they look cool. All right, I got the headlights disconnected. Now we should just pull the shroud forward, and it should just lift right out. And it does. Remember, when you're putting away your your hood and your shroud, to set it off somewhere that's going to be safe and not get beat up. This really determines the look of your tractor if you think about resale value and stuff like that in the future. Now you can see as I walk around here and show you the engine compartment now with the shroud off and the hood off, how easy it is for this tractor to be worked on. This tractor is ready to be serviced. As in the Army, the manuals are not absolutely correct all the times. In the Army, we used to have manuals that would have flaws in them, just as this one does. It says here for the jack stands. Just happen to read this again. It says jack stands pointing at the axle here, place on both sides. However, you can see in the picture that there's the filter on the other side. You can't get to the jack stand there. I just thought that was kind of funny, and when I went to jack it up myself, I was going to put him on here naturally because that's what I would normally do. But I looked over and you can't do it because the oil filter is in the way.